Hello, everyone. My name is Andrea. I'm the CEO and co-founder of MagicBlock, the high-performance engine for on-chain games and applications. We envision a world where every game and consumer applications can seamlessly and natively interact with each other. Developers and users can collaborate to extend these digital realities permissionlessly and without platform risk, because everything is unstoppable and doesn't rely on any centralized party to operate. This is not some magical future. This is already possible today if you're building on-chain. But in practice, on-chain latency is far too high for these experiences to be enjoyable. And at the same time, developers are facing a performance composability trade-off. If they're building on a rollup, they are fragmenting the ecosystem to the point where even a simple asset purchase with native USDC becomes this overly complicated process. If they're building on a single-state machine like Solana, they cannot customize the runtime on which their apps or games are operated on. They don't have access to more TPS on demand whenever they need it. And at the same time, for hundreds of thousands of transactions, the cost might still be prohibitive. So we set out to fix all of these problems. And I know it's a big claim. So I'm simply going to show it to you. This is a fully on-chain game deployed on Solana mainnet and accelerated with the MagicBlock engine. As we start moving around, you see transactions coming through blazingly fast. It's even more impressive when there's another player. There's absolutely no latency between these two players. And there's no server. Everything is a transaction. Not only we are hyper-performant, but we're also 100% composable with Solana. As we're collecting this gem, we're minting a transaction on Solana mainnet. This is based on the position of the player in the game, which means that no one can mint this token unless they are in that exact location and they're following the rules enforced by the smart contract on Solana mainnet. This is what we're building. MagicBlock is a decentralized, high-performance engine for on-chain games and applications. Our network gives developers on-chain real-time latency while at the same time being 100% composable with Solana, because the smart contracts are deployed directly on the main chain and not on a different ecosystem. Not only that, we allow developers to customize the runtime on which their app or games are operated on, and we can give them more TPS on demand whenever they need it. I know it sounds incredible, but here's how it works. Developers deploy their smart contracts directly on Solana, the base layer. Thanks to the unique feature of the Solana virtual machine, they can temporarily delegate state into an ephemeral rollup through an SVM operator. The SVM operator is a fast Solana validator that we rewrote from scratch to optimize for performance. The current overhead on the validator is less than 10 milliseconds, and that's why state can be changed so quickly in the ephemeral rollup. Periodically, or whenever we need this state back on chain, the SVM operator posts a commitment of a state diff, and a network of light clients sample and verify the transaction to ensure computational integrity. When the state is finalized, we can have conditional operations on chain, such as the token mint that you just saw. This architecture opens up a new design space for developers to shard the state of their games or application into multiple execution environments, where they can execute transactions in parallel. So they can decide to execute transaction for an NFT mint or USDC payment directly on Solana, and only move in the ephemeral rollups the state of their player's position, for example, or vice versa. It's completely up to them. From an end-user perspective, everything is abstracted away with an RPC router. So users are not really understanding that they're sending transactions through multiple layers in parallel. Of course, games have always been at the bleeding edge of the technological frontier. But as we're solving this problem for games, we're solving these problems for many other use cases. We're already working with companies for every single one of these use cases here. And we're already live, powering some of the best games in the Solana ecosystem with tools like Lucid, Bolt, or the official Solana Unity SDK, which are supported, funded, and endorsed by Solana Foundation. Our team is a mix of research and engineering. I have personally onboarded on-chain some of the biggest studios, and my co-founder, Gabriele, has more than 20 patents and publication in some prestigious research journals, such as Nature. We have worked for some of the best companies in Web 2 and in the Solana ecosystem. If you're interested in what we're doing, feel free to reach out to me on Telegram or follow us on Twitter. Our handle is MagicBlock. Thank you.